Hello and welcome to Week 1, Unit 1 of our Open SAP course, Developing and Extending SAP Fiori Elements apps. My name is Stefanie Hager and I'm a Product Manager for SAP Fiori Elements and SAP Fiori Tools.
And I'm Peter Spielvogel, another Product Manager for SAP Fiori Elements and SAP Fiori Tools. Together, Stephanie and I will give you an introduction to Fiori Elements in this unit.
Over the next 4 weeks, you will learn how to create an SAP Fiori Elements app and also how to extend a standard SAP Fiori app. In Week 1, we'll cover some foundational materials such as the architecture, and we'll explain how OData services power your SAP Fiori Elements apps. In Weeks 2 and 3, we will build several different types of apps and will use a variety of tools. The intent here is to cover most of the technologies that you will encounter during your development projects. Week 4 is then dedicated to extending a standard SAP Fiori app using SAP UI5 flexibility. This introduction will now focus on weeks 1 to 3. Week 4 will be introduced later. Now, this is a development course, so obviously it's for developers, but it's also for anyone who's interested to learn how easy it can be to build an SAP Fiori Elements app. So we will build several different types of apps together, and we have some optional exercises where we encourage you to follow along with us. The exercises also contain some additional material because we simply couldn't cover all the great stuff we want to show you in the lectures. So the apps that we are going to build are for our travel desk clerk, Jay. And Jay needs to manage his travels and his bookings. And he can get an overview on his most important business data using the travel overview. From here, he can navigate to the travel list and further to the travel details. And he can also analyze his bookings using the booking analysis app. We'll build one additional app outside the travel scenario. That's the foods and beverages app. And here we will use an external OData service, so one that's not connecting to an SAP backend. To give you a short overview of what you can expect, I'll do a quick demo in a sneak preview style to show you the finished apps that we will build together in this course. This is Jay's travel overview. His most important business data has been summarized using cards. So for instance, you have some analytics information here. You have a list with his most important quick links, and via this list card, he can see at a glance which travels need his attention. That's the ones that are coming up soon and that have not yet been approved. By clicking on the header of this card, he can also navigate to the travel list. And the travel list is based on our floor plan list report, and we provide a lot of functionality out of the box. For instance, variant management, or generic search capabilities, or table personalization. The filter fields in the table columns are provided by the app developer by means of metadata. You can also navigate to the travel details page. That's again a standard SAP Fiori Elements functionality. And also this floor plan, this is an object page, provides a lot of stuff out of the box, in particular edit capabilities, including draft management. This map that you see here is an SAP UI5 GeoMap control. And that is something we don't support in standard SAP Fiori Elements. So you will also learn how to enhance your app beyond what we offer out of the box. I had mentioned that Jay can also analyze his bookings via the booking analysis app. And this is based on the floor plan type analytical list page, and this provides additional analytics capabilities for slicing and dicing the data. In particular, these interactive charts here and the visual filters. So much for a quick demo. Now, Peter will explain the technologies behind user experience consistency and also why user experience consistency is so important.
Thanks, Stephanie. Your demo showed the value of SAP Fiori Elements to deliver a consistent experience across all the apps. UX consistency is very important to SAP because we hear this from customers and partners at user group meetings, SAP conferences, and in emails that you send us. For this reason, UX consistency is a board-level priority, as you can see in this quote from Thomas Sauerseg that is pulled from a blog he posted on LinkedIn. Our development efforts are focused on delivering a consistent user experience. SAP Fiori Elements plays a major role in this. It's one of the main tools we use for building apps for SAP S/4HANA. If you use Fiori Elements, the apps that you build will look and feel the same as the ones that we ship. Let's talk a little bit more about why consistent user experience is so important. One of the challenges of enterprise scale development is getting all your developers to follow the same user experience standards. UX consistency includes the fonts and colors, the layout of information on the screen, and all the interaction patterns. A great UX delivers measurable benefits, which is why this is such an important topic for SAP. At the heart of a great user experience is consistency. A great UX means people love your app. There's little more frustrating than writing an app that no one uses. Knowing where to find the information in your screen and how to navigate through the app makes people more confident and more productive using it. Consistency promotes a rapid learning curve for users as they already know where to click and how the menus work. Simple and consistent screens also mean that people make fewer errors, so the data is cleaner in the system. The sum of all these measurable benefits means your users will be much happier using the apps that you build them. Using Fiori Elements gives you all these things, along with keeping development and maintenance costs in check. That is why we rely on it so much internally. SAP Fiori Elements uses SAP UI5 technology. This is a modern web framework that makes it easy to create cross-platform apps with a single code line. Using SAP UI5 for your web apps has several key advantages. It gives you the SAP Fiori experience today and as the design system evolves. It includes built-in support for SAP's enterprise-grade product standards such as security, integration, and accessibility. Since SAP UI5 is a web-based technology, it runs on all platforms, browsers, and devices. So you can write once and have both desktop and mobile apps. It also gives you the ability, using SAP UI5 flexibility, to extend SAP's standard applications and customize the UI without any coding. We'll talk more about the advantages of SAP UI5 in the next unit on architecture. The final week of the course is focused exclusively on using SAP UI5 flexibility to extend a standard app. At this point, you've seen some SAP Fiori apps in the demo and learned a little bit about SAP UI5 technology that powers Fiori Elements. So what exactly is SAP Fiori Elements? SAP Fiori Elements is a UI library that provides several standard floor plans. SAP Fiori Elements uses metadata so you can create Fiori apps with minimal coding. Metadata determines the appearance and behavior of your app. This metadata-driven approach has several key benefits. You start with enterprise-ready code that is engineered to perform in a variety of common layouts. This low-code approach boosts your development efficiency since you focus only on the business logic and don't need to write anything for the user interface. The floor plans already contain Fiori design, so everything looks consistent across all the apps that you write. Since SAP provides the UI, we also maintain that. As the Fiori design evolves, your Fiori Elements apps can inherit these updates. Now, Stephanie will discuss the different floor plans.
Developer productivity is boosted significantly by providing standard floor plans. Most scenarios in the enterprise involve some variation of providing an overview on business relevant data, various types of lists of this data, and managing the data. And the 5 SAP Fiori Elements floor plans were designed to cover the majority of these use cases. Overview pages provide an overview on the data for a certain business area or role. They're also the jumping off point for business process, like when we jumped from the travel overview to the travel list. The travel list was based on the floor plan list report, And this is made for filtering and sorting a large set of items, and also allows the user to navigate to an object page to provide further details on a specific item. There's also two variations of the list report. There's the analytical list page with additional analytics capabilities, so the charts and the visual filters you saw in the booking analysis app earlier. And there is the work list, which is optimized for processing a list of tasks. This one we won't have time to cover in this course. Apps built using SAP Fiori Elements are automatically enterprise-ready apps. Our framework provides high-quality, stable, optimized UI code out of the box. And that means a lot of complex UI code that you don't have to write, test, or maintain. Now, you heard earlier that also SAP UI5 Freestyle gives you the ability to write enterprise-ready apps. Now, which approach to use for which use case? Peter, can you please take us through that decision process?
Of course, both SAP Fiori Elements and SAP UI5 Freestyle development are great methods for creating SAP Fiori apps. The approach that's best for you depends on your situation and unique business needs. So, how do you decide when to use which? The quick answer is that with Fiori Elements, you're exchanging flexibility for efficiency. If you're in a situation where your needs are mostly covered by the SAP floor plans, you can use SAP Fiori Elements to build your applications efficiently. You are responsible for the annotations, but the UI, including the UI logic, is already handled by SAP. This streamlined process reduces the time and cost of development and maintenance. If you're in a scenario that's not covered by these floor plans, or extending them would be too time-consuming, SAP UI5 Freestyle development is likely to be a better choice for you. While you'll be fully responsible for the UI development, you have complete flexibility with your designs. Obviously, this leads to higher development and maintenance costs. In this course, we'll give you everything you need to build SAP Fiori Elements apps with confidence. There are separate open SAP courses for SAP UI5 Freestyle development. Again, in the final week, you'll use SAP UI5 flexibility to modify a standard app. I hope you're excited to join us on this journey to develop several SAP Fiori Elements apps. In this unit, we talked about why a consistent user experience is good for your business. We covered how the combination of SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori Elements drives developer productivity, UX consistency, and building enterprise-grade apps at scale. Finally, we discussed when SAP Fiori Elements makes sense and when it might be better to go with an SAP UI5 Freestyle approach. In the next unit, we'll talk about the architecture and how all the different underlying technologies combine to power SAP Fiori Elements.